welcome to yoga. We are going to, first of all, we're going to lay on the mat. What a nice place to start. You're going to lay on the mat. If you've got a block and a strap nearby, good to have them. Get yourself laying out and stretch, stretch, and stretch. I want you to think about reaching the hands towards the back wall and the toes towards the front wall, and thinking about just lifting the belly a little bit so the lower back lifts off of the mat and the chest can be nice and open, stretching through one side and then the other. So really pointing the toes down on the right side, reaching those right fingertips towards the back wall, and then switching it out left side. We're going to take the hips to the right and the feet and the hands to the left. Take a nice blown palm. Thinking here about that right hip anchoring down towards the mat. Keeping the heels side by side to start with. See how that feels. And then if you want a little bit more, right ankle can cross over the left. Maybe left hand takes right wrist. Draw the right shoulder kind of back and away from the ear. Allow yourself that deep stretch through that right side body. With every inhale, embrace the fact that those ribs are going to begin to open up. And then with every exhale, allow that shrinkage to occur and then draw that right hip down in towards the mat. All right, let's bring the body back to center, taking our time. I'm going to stack the knees over the top of the hips. The legs are at right angles. I'm going to anchor lower back down into the mat so the core is beginning to work. Very small movement, small action, but we're still switching that core on. And we're just going to hold the knees above the hips just for a moment. Really switch that core on. This should feel like effort. Not a huge amount of effort, but effort nonetheless. Push the lower back down into the mat. Draw the belly button back in towards the spine and then down. Bring the pelvic floors up. You are as strong as you can be through your core. Let's see if we can extend the right leg away. Draw it back in. Reset. Left leg away. Draw it back in. We're going to go for 8, 7, resetting each time, 6, 5, reset, 4, 3, reset, 2, and 1. Bring the knees in towards the chest. I want you to imagine the length of the spine touching down on the mat. So the tailbone is moving towards the front wall. Push the heels away. And then the crown of the head reaching towards that back wall. Dip the chin to the chest slightly and lengthen the neck. We're going to open the arms out and then take the knees down to the right side. If you need to use a block to bring the floor to you, then do. Taking the gaze over to the left side. Depending on how much space you've got, you might want to cross that left leg over the top of the right. You might not. Play around with it, see how you feel. Gazing towards the left hand or wherever feels good for you. All right, we're going to bring the knees back up. We're going to bring the block over towards the other side. Extend the legs away. This time round, we're going to bring the hips to the left-hand side and the hands and the feet over towards the right. Take a side body stretch in your blown palm. Left hip moving down towards the mat. Nice deep stretch into the IT band. And allow the breath to fill you up. The ribs begin to open. And then if you want a little bit more, if you have some more space, left ankle can cross over the top of the right hand can take left wrist, and then just move that upper arm away from the ear. So you just create a little bit more space here. Really allow the breath to fill the chest, fill the belly. And then with the exhale, see if you can allow the ribs to shrink off, and then that left hip comes down a little bit more in towards the mat. Okay, releasing off, uncross the ankles if that's where they're at. Bring the body back to center. We're going to stack knees over the top of the hips, come to our right angles again. We're going to set the core up, the lower back pushes down, core is going to engage, belly button in towards the spine, and then pelvic floors up. We're going to hold it here for a moment. If you want a little bit more, we can always do a little bit more. We're going to extend the right leg away, draw it back in, reset, and left away. Let's go for 7, 6, resetting each time, 5, and 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Take a moment, bring the knees in towards you, lengthening the whole length of the spine onto the mat. Push through the heels, tailbone moves towards the mat, lengthen crown of the head towards the top wall, shoulders away from the ears, chin towards chest, ever so slightly lengthening the neck. And maybe a little bit of a rock from side to side. Okay, from here, we're just going to plant the feet down. We're going to tickle the back of the heels. We're going to have the feet hip distance apart. I'm just going to play around by pelvic tilting. So drawing the belly button in and lifting through the hips. We're squeezing the glutes. We're pushing the heels down. We're thinking about the shins moving forward towards the front wall. Small movements to start with, just rocking the pelvis backwards and forwards. And then take the hands down by the side of you. I'm going to start to roll the spine and place it all the way back down. Each time getting higher. I'm going to see if we can lift the toes off of the mat. Take all of that weight through the heels. And then flattening those feet off again, taking the movement all the way up until the shoulders. We're going to pause here. We're going to walk the feet away from us. Okay, so now our feet are a little bit further away. We're going to take a lot more strength through the hamstrings, and we're going to lower the bottom down. And we're squeezing to lift. We're going to go for 10, for 9, for 8, for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep those hips lifting. Going to walk those feet back in underneath the knees, squeeze to lift. Going to take the hands, interlace the fingers, roll those shoulder heads back, open through the chest and push down through the fist, through the heels, glutes squeezing, hips lifting, gaze down the center line of the body, knees tracking hips. Remembering to breathe. And then rolling those shoulders out, engaging the core, lowering down each vertebra one at a time, coming all the way down. Draw the knees in towards you. One more time, thinking about laying the whole length of the spine down. Push through the heels, tailbone, moving towards the bottom of your mat. Crown of the head lifting towards that top wall. Chin moves in towards the chest. And then planting the feet down, we're going to take the arms wide and drop the knees over towards the right-hand side, taking a gaze to the left. And then switching, knees come up, dropping those knees over to the left-hand side. Gaze comes over to the right. Okay, bringing the knees back to center. Whilst we're here, let's stack those knees again over the top of the hips. Draw that belly button in towards the spine, bringing that core in nice and tight. Draw those pelvic floors up, push through the heels. And we're going to extend the right leg away. Bring it back in. And the left leg away. And bring it back in. Maybe both legs at the same time and bring it back in. Let's go one at a time. Right leg and left leg and both together. One more. Let's take the right leg away and the left leg away and both together. Can we hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Gosh, bring the knees in towards the chest. Make nice little circles on that lower back, releasing any tension from that lower spine. Taking it in one direction and then taking it in the other. Okay, we're going to pause here. We're going to extend that left leg away from you. Draw that right knee, right foot in towards the hand. So we're looking to come into a half happy baby. So bringing that right knee in towards the right armpit. Hand can take hold of the foot. Alternatively, you can take the strap and draw that strap in towards the body to find that stretch through the hips. Okay, let's switch out. Extending that right leg away. Left knee can come in towards you to take hold of the foot. Alternatively, grab hold of the foot with the strap and then find your happy baby or half happy baby. Does that mean the other half's grumpy? Maybe. And then releasing. You pop that strap down. We're going to rock and roll the spine. No rush here. When you're ready, cross those ankles. Let's find ourselves in a table. From here, let's just start to move through the spine a little bit more fluidly. So finding your cat-cow, but really it's whatever it wants to look like. So maybe if you're sticking with your traditional cat-cow, you're lifting the gaze, dropping the tummy and then rounding the spine. But I'm not a fan of that, I'm not going to lie. I much prefer a more fluid approach to it. Maybe you want to widen the knees slightly and find yourself moving through a wide-legged child's pose. Maybe you don't. Options are endless. And then when you're ready, trying to make yourself equal on both sides, and find your way back into a neutral spine in a tabletop position. Lovely. Extend that right leg away and let's push through the heel. Get yourself nice and secure. We're going to take the left hand to the back of the head. We're going to open slightly towards the left side and then draw that elbow towards the right. Let's go again for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Take the left hand down, bring the right knee down, extend the left leg away, push through the heel, set yourself up nice and stable, push through that left hand. We're going to take the right hand to the back of the head. We're going to open slightly to the right and then draw the elbow across to the left for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right hand comes down. Take the knees down. Let's take the knees as wide as the mat. The feet trail the knees. Find a frog position. Walk those hands either forward or onto the forearms. Maybe you've got a bolster you want to pop underneath you. Push down through the forearms. Find a spread across the shoulders. Gently move into the knees. If you want to start to find what's more comfortable for you. The further away the body to the knees, the less of a right angle, the less intense it will feel. Sometimes it feels nice to move backwards and forwards a little bit, just playing around the edge. See if you can draw the belly in though. We want to make sure that we're not taking a big dip into the lower back. It's going to start to put pressure through the spine and we want to avoid that. Option here, if this feels a lot, that you can do 1 leg at a time. Okay, tuck the toes, bring the toes back in, and then engage the core, lift the knees. We'll come into a narrow-legged child's pose just to decompress. Chest to thighs, forehead down, hands behind you, palms up, and let the shoulders come over the top of the knees. Find a stretch across that upper back. And then maybe a little rock from side to side if that feels nice. Okay, going to walk the hands forward. We're going to come and find ourselves into a puppy pose. As you walk the hands forward, keep the bottom stacked over the top of the knees, dip the chest down. If you have space, bring the hands together, foreheads down. Bring the hands over the top. The thumbs can touch the nape of the neck. Spread through the fingertips. Feel the webbing of the fingers get a nice stretch. We don't do that very often. And then the right hand's going to place down, tangle the hands, I should say. Right hand places down. Let's take that left arm underneath, come to thread the needle. Walk the right hand away. Right leg comes away too. Push through the heel, drawing the hip down so we can keep those hips nice and level. Spider up the fingertips if you've got space for it. And then the knee's going to come down. Right hand pushes down and then unravel yourself. Let's go in the other direction. Left hand comes down. Right arm is going to slide underneath, rest on the shoulder. Left hand can walk away, spider the fingertips. Left leg can extend if you've got space for it. And then that left knee is going to come back in. Push through the left hand. Bring yourself back to center. Okay. From here, we're going to tuck under the toes. We're going to hover the knees. And we're just going to hang here for a moment or two. Think about bringing that belly in. We want to find strength through the core. We're going to push the hands down into the mat. Can we extend the right leg away? Get a stretch down the back of that right leg. Bring that right foot back in. Extend the left leg away. Nice stretch down the back of that left leg this time. If it's too strong, always an option to bring the knees down. Okay, bring the left knee back in. We're going to send the chest to thighs. Sit back into the heels. Find that nice stretch on the underside of the feet and through the Achilles and the calves. And then float the bottom up. Find your down dog. Pedal through the heels. Wiggle through the bottom. Take a moment to find your down dog. Hands push down. The elbow creases are looking at one another. The triceps wrap round. Chest moves towards thighs. When you're ready, right leg is going to come high. Open the hips to the right. Bring the right foot towards the bottom. Squeeze the glutes. Push those hips forward. And then play around with extending that right leg. And then bending. We'll go for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring that right knee all the way through towards the chest. Extend away, keep the hips level this time. Right knee comes towards the chest, crunch it in, and send that right leg away. 3 more, right knee to chest and away. 2 more to chest and away. Right knee to chest, and then the foot comes down between the hands. With the hands down, just move through that hip space. We're going to take the back knee down and untuck the toes. We're going to come up. We're going to draw those arms together. Think here about pushing those elbows towards the front wall, separating those shoulder blades. And then we're going to draw those arms or hands away. I'm going to show you this direction. So we've got a beautiful V. All right, so we're looking to move the hands towards opposite walls and then draw those arms up just a little bit, finding a deep stretch across the shoulders. Meanwhile, you're sinking those hips forward and down. Okay, bring the hands together. Bring your left hand to the outside of that right thigh. Draw the ribs round, taking a lift through the crown of the head. Bring that right hand to wherever it reaches. Find openness across the chest. Find a twist through the spine. All the while, take that lift through the crown of the head and the ribs come round. Coming all the way back round. Hands are going to come down, untuck the toes, lift through the back knee, right foot comes back into your down dog and pedal the heels out. Taking your time here. Okay, that left leg is going to lift. Open the hips out to the left side. Left foot comes towards the bottom, finding that groin stretch. And then from here, leveling the hips out, we can draw the left knee to chest, send it away. Left knee to chest, and send it away. 3 more, left knee to chest, and away. 2 more, and 1 more. Extend the leg to the ceiling, open the hips out, bring the left foot towards the bottom, and then extend the leg. Bring it to bottom, extend the leg, bring to bottom. 3 more, and 2 more, and 1 more. That left knee is going to come through towards the chest, and then take the left foot down. Wiggle through the balls of the feet, find some movement through the hip space. Okay. From here, let's take the back knee down, untuck the toes, bring those arms into eagle arms. That right arm is going to come underneath the left. Really think about spreading those shoulder blades and then draw those elbows down in line with the shoulders. Bringing those palms together, squeeze. If this is really tight for your shoulders, just take opposite, not elbows, what are they? Opposite shoulders. Thinking about those hips moving forward and down. Really nice. Stretch through the hip flexor. Separate the arm, take the other one. This time round. This time round, we're going to take the left arm underneath the right, draw those elbows down and away from you, pushing those hands into one another. Again, too tight, take the shoulders. Okay, releasing the arms. We're going to bring those elbows back. Think about opening through the chest. Take the gaze up towards the ceiling. And then bring those hands down. Let's take the knee underneath the hip. Come into a table. Come into a narrow-legged child's pose. Forehead down, hands behind you. Maybe a gentle sway from side to side. Okay. Coming all the way back up. You can take the hands down, tuck the toes, step, hop or jump to the top of your mat. Plant the chest on top of the thighs. Take a fold. Bring the hands and the elbows to opposite elbows. Widen the stance if you need to. And take a little bit of a sway from side to side, taking some movement into the lower back. And then swap that elbow grip out. Take the other one. Okay, using the block if you need to extend or bring the floor up to you. You're going to take the right hand down, And as we do so, we're going to straighten that left leg and bend the right. Bring that left hand up towards the ceiling. Maybe you want to move that hand all the way round to touch the top of that right thigh. Thinking about pushing the bottom back. Thinking about taking the gaze to wherever is comfortable, maybe towards the ceiling, maybe towards the side wall. And then let's switch out, bring the left hand down. The left hand is going to be on the block or on the floor. We're going to start to straighten the right leg, bend through the left, and then repeat. Right hand can reach to the ceiling, or maybe wrap all the way behind you to touch the top of that left thigh. Pushing the bottom back just a little bit. And then bringing yourself all the way back round. All right. From here, we're going to slowly make our way up to standing, really slowly. Lovely. Once we're there, take the arms high, reach up out of the waist. We're going to take a forward fold, hinge from the hips, bring the chest down to the thighs. Take a nice deep bend into the knees if you need to. You want to turn the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Hands to shins, take a lengthen through the crown of the head towards the front wall. You've got the flattest back imaginable. Take a forward fold. Remember to bend at the knees if it feels good. And then slowly making your way all the way back up again. Take an inhale, bring the arms high. We're going to find our way into eagle pose as our peak pose today. Right foot's our standing leg, standing foot. Spread through the toes, anchor down through the 4 points of the foot. And then from here, we're going to sit back into our chair. Tuck the tailbone under, sit a little lower. Left leg is going to come over the top of the right. This might be enough for you. Perhaps you want to pop a block to the outer side of the right foot to rest on, if that is your finishing point. If you want to wrap that left foot behind the right calf, do. We want knees and hips facing forward. If you feel you're twisting round, we want to make sure that we are looking after our joints. So we're finding ourselves in a stable position, looking at one thing that's not moving. Once the legs are sorted, I promise you the lower you go, the more stable you get. You're going to take the hands out into cactus arms. We're going to bring right elbow underneath the left. Find your eagle arms as you draw the elbows down towards the knees, squeezing everything together. Find that stretch across the back. Your core is stable. Your tailbone tucked under. You are low and strong. Let's come all the way back out with some kind of dignity. Some. Shake it all out. Well done. Good job. Okay, let's go again on the other side. Left foot's our standing leg. Spread those toes. Find those anchor points. Okay, we're going to take our chair, sitting back, tuck the tailbone, sit a little lower. Right leg is going to cross over the top. Maybe it comes to a block. Maybe you wrap it behind the calf. We want to make sure the hips are still forward facing and the knees and ankles, everything's in a beautiful line. Okay, bring the arms out to cactus arms. This time round, left arm comes under right. Draw the hands together and the elbows towards the knees. Start to close everything off and squeeze. Breathe. Enjoy your wiggles. And then come out and release with the dignity that you went in. Have a little shake movement, a wobble. All right, beautiful. Take the arms up high, reach up out of the waist, spread through the fingers. Take a moment to lift the gaze, lengthen, bringing the chin towards the ceiling, open the throat. And then let's take a forward fold, hinging from the hips. Take a bend at the knees if that feels good. Hands to shins, take a half lift, sending the bottom back, the crown of the head forward, and then take a forward fold. From here, we're going to move down into our table. All right, from here, cross the ankles and roll back onto the bottom. The legs are now ahead of you. So we're sitting up nice and tall. Take the block between the thighs. We're going to move towards our final Savasana. Sitting up nice and tall. Lots of options here. You can keep your feet down. You can lift those feet. What we want to do is make sure that the chest is close to the thighs and that we are on those sit bones, okay? So we don't want to be resting back on the lower back. We don't want to do that. Sitting up nice and tall, maybe the hands are alongside the shins, maybe they're down by the side for some stability, a couple of oars. All right, so here's our boat. We're going to hang out here for a moment. We're going to turn it into some twists as we take the left hands down to the hands down to the left. Come up high, bring the chest to thighs, and then over to the right for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the feet down, remove the block, give yourself a hug together. Really use your elbows here or your forearms here to create a little bit of leverage to get a nice deep stretch across the back. Okay, and then sitting up one more time. We're going to float our boat again, legs extend. We're going to take the hands alongside, and this time we're going to extend the right leg away, bring it in, and then the left leg away and bring it in. Reset your core each time. Make sure you're really stable here. And we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep the arms lifted. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees in. However you get down is up to you. Take a moment to really listen to what your body needs. So you have lots of options, maybe circles on the lower back, maybe some windscreen wiper legs. Maybe you need to take a different stretch. Really do pay attention to what you need right now. And then allow yourself to get ready for your final Savasana, whatever that might look like for you. Maybe extending those legs away, arms by the side of you, palms up. Maybe the feet are flat, maybe the knees tip in towards one another. Maybe the feet are as wide as the mat, just allowing any pressure that might have been gathering in the lower spine just to disappear. Allowing the heart rate to begin to settle. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we're going to do a little bit of breath work to finish. If my pattern doesn't match yours, then do your own. I want you to close off the mind and focus solely on the breath. So let's begin. Let's take an inhale for the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. With your eyes closed, allowing the breath to simply enter and exit the body. Take these final moments to feel the heaviness of the body on the mat, the soft movement of the breeze with every exhale. The quietness of the mind, the warmth of the body, the power that you hold. Take a moment just to enjoy that. When you're ready, we're going to start to bring our awareness back to now with a wiggle of the toes and the fingertips. Just start to awaken the body with a gentle sway from side to side. Maybe a stretch through one side and then the others. Moving through the left and then the right. Find space, find peace. And then when you're ready and there's no rush, make your way back up to a seated position, and I will be there.